All right. Well, good afternoon. Today we have the CTIM Cell team here, real estate brokerage based out in Katy, Texas. The man, the myth, the legend has joined us too, coming up soon. But worked with Tim for years. Sure, you guys are in good hands because he's wonderful to work with and probably the smartest man I know in real estate. But today, Carla, Heath, and Shelly, how are y'all doing?
Great.
No, we were blessed.
I'm blessed. Well, happy to have you. Anxious to kind of discuss a little bit about the real estate market since people are kind of curious about, what may be happening, where the market is, where we think it's going to go. But today, property type, we're going to be talking residential, right?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Well, Shelly, I'm going to start with you. You look like you've been on a news show before, so you're going to show them all how it's done, right?
Okay. Okay.
Well, so
Lead us.
as far as home prices in Katy versus like the Houston market, what makes us stand out in Katy, and where are we kind of in comparison to, let's just say, some of the other suburbs like Pearland, Cypress?
Okay. Well, Katy schools are a big draw for people here, and I think people they're concerned about their kids' education, and even if they don't have children, they're concerned about resale
Sure,
later. So I
that's a
think
good point.
Katy schools is a big draw for people here, and when it's a common or a demand area,
Mhm.
that's going to drive prices up.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I think that's the biggest, probably the biggest factor that I see in prices in this area.
Sure. Does it play a part in the taxes or say people are moving from an area where, new family and then they're like it's time to go into the good school district. Is there a big sticker shock that you have to coach them up to as far as taxes or can you navigate around that like in certain areas of Katy?
Well, of course, in newer areas where you've got the mud taxes that are higher,
I know all about those.
yes, um, that's going to be a sticker shock for someone. But what I see is most people that are most shocked about the taxes is people that are coming from other states.
Okay.
And they don't understand that, first of all, we don't have income tax, state income
Yes.
tax. Second of all, we have the homestead exemptions. So once I explain that to people, it eases that a little bit more. And you need to educate them on what the mud tax is. What's a mud tax? The municipal utility district tax.
That's right. Yeah.
So as that new neighborhood grows, the mud tax reduces, that loan that the developer borrowed from the county reduces as the neighborhood ages and more people buy in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it seems almost cyclical, right? So when I was in a neighborhood just up by 99, the taxes were significantly less, if not more than half of what we increased to double over in a new Firethorn area. But you noticed it was established, right?
Right.
But the reason we moved was because all the kids in that neighborhood were graduating high school and going on.
Right.
And we wanted to go where there was younger families. So you're kind of following that and you see, but I do appreciate your point on the the families without children participating in the school district. It's resale value that they're chasing.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Well, thanks. Heath, let's talk a little bit about what you do and how your experience has been in the market. I mean, as far as competitiveness to other suburbs.
As far as competitiveness, I think part of the draw that Katy and the west part of the town has is the location of Katy itself, as it's close to the energy corridor,
Yes.
and you have access to a lot of the uh, to the rest of the city. If you think you have I-10, and then you also have 99 that can connect anywhere in the city. So I think a lot of that draw is to that point right there. Schools are very important. I know
100%, yeah.
Shelley talked about it. I think it's very important because Katy ISD is a very good school district. And there are a lot of other school districts around it that kind of, I think, grow because Katy is so well known. They are growing their districts as well to kind of partner off of them or kind of build off of what Katy can offer.
Kind of like the industry standard, if you will.
Exactly.
My wife's a teacher for Katy ISD,
bless her.
has been
Thank
for
you.
10 years.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah, absolutely. She fought hard to get into
Right.
Katy ISD from
Mhm.
Houston School District. And you see, she's passionate because the parents are passionate.
Amen.
They're involved in their kids' success. And you see that. Katy football. Let's
Oh,
go.
come on.
I mean, from Texas, we all know,
Football's
football's
life.
football's
Football's
life.
life.
But
Mhm.
when I moved out to Katy, I was like, whoa, I went to a
Yeah.
game, like not having any kids. I was like,
Mhm.
the energy was electric,
This is
contagious.
Exactly.
Serious passion.
And I mean,
Serious.
that stadium, there's
That was
colleges that
beautiful.
don't.
don't even fill, they don't even
No.
fill up stadiums like that.
No.
Yeah.
What a tough loss a couple of weeks ago.
It was
Right?
tough. But
Yeah.
North Shore's a beast. But
They are. Well, as far as inventory, have y'all seen kind of just a stable, available inventory for your buyers, or is it a challenge sometimes looking for their wants?
I think there's a stable inventory at the moment. I think it's the days on market have grown a little bit over the year, but I believe that those will start diminishing a little bit. The days on market won't be as long as it was in the past year.
Yeah,
So I think definitely it's there. And, if you're in the right place, right location, and you're definitely priced right, I think definitely your home can definitely sell.
sure. No, it's exciting to see. We always cringe a little bit, but also get excited when you see
Oh, yeah.
something go on the market in your neighborhood and you see what they're
Mhm.
listing it for. You're like, oh, because I came from the commercial world where it was a non-disclosure state, but it's like that. Well, the tax man's got
Mhm.
records of this house going for that.
Yeah.
So, but I guess you love it, but you hate it.
I think
Well,
everybody wants to also know what their house is worth as well. Especially when a house goes on the market, you're like, okay, what's that going for?
Mhm,
Okay, what's my house worth?
Yeah.
Now, so
Sure. I want to know what it's worth, but I also want it to be recorded as those taxes. But well, thanks. Great information. It looks like you guys are real dialed into the market. But Carla, let's talk a little bit about what you've seen. The concrete in Katy never dries. So, how long have you been in the market, and what have you seen as far as just a change in your tenure?
Well, it has been a tremendous amount of change in
Mhm.
Katy. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just growing and growing. And they say they're not making more dirt.
Nope.
But Katy, there is plenty because all those new constructions, new communities coming up.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is. I've been in the city of Katy for just over a decade, but friends that I have that are Houstonians are like, they'll come out to visit and they're like, dude, I used to duck hunt across the street from your house.
Yeah.
So, and working at that, like, as far as, do you see it slowing down at all anytime soon?
I don't see that slowing down. The amount of homes, new constructions going on. Inventory is a little steady, like Heat said,
Mm-hmm.
but construction is nonstop.
Nonstop. Um, the group over there right by that Kroger on Spring Green, there were those ranch style houses, and one of them just recently sold, and he was kind of the I think the HOA president of those eight or nine houses. Just heard that they're building a Class A 300 unit, like super upscale multifamily over there. You cringe a little bit, but then you go back to taxes and you're like, oh, maybe we'll see a little bit of reduction there because commercial brings that to help with that mud. Especially when it's multifamily, they don't get those grants like big businesses do to come to
Right.
the area. But jobs, I mean, have you seen growth in jobs? And when you do work with a buyer, are they coming from Houston, or are they coming from another city in Texas or another state?
We have seen a combination, people coming from other states,
Mm-hmm.
relocating for a job, and a mix also from within the city, Houston, and just changing their lifestyle.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my realtor told me, she said, when I moved out here, I'm going to have to get new friends. I was like, oh, you're kidding. 2 weeks
Yeah.
later, I'm like, oh, my friends don't want to come out here. They keep calling me saying I'm living in North Austin or something. But there's so much to do.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
you'd see that Katy is getting like the first like Pop Stroke or what some of these restaurants like In-N-Out Burger. They're coming to Katy first. And there's a reason behind that. They know the demographics.
Right.
So, as far as technology in the market, I'd love to ask all three of you, and give me a brief 1 minute. But what are you seeing as far as technology being put to use for buyers, sellers, and also agents versus what you were doing 5 years ago?
think
Right.
yeah, go ahead, Carla.
A huge growth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the technology is just it's amazing, and challengeable at the same time because you got to keep up with it.
Sure.
It's a constant learning.
Yeah.
But
It's so, you'd always have, I mean, when I was doing commercial, and I'm assuming residential buyers would do it too, and you'd prepare their profile for HAR or whatever. Like, well, I found this one on Zillow, and you're like, okay, that's been on the market. Well, it's no longer there. I mean, active, updated listings, all that stuff. Do you see the value or perception of value of real estate agents shifting in a sense, more of becoming an advocate or a resource versus just the required licensed person to make that transaction with you?
Absolutely.
Because
Definitely.
yeah, so talk a little bit about that.
I think as a real estate agent, a realtor, we're there to support them. I mean, a lot of people are doing a lot of research, in what they are looking at, and a lot of them know a lot of things before we even talk to them because they've done the research,
Sure.
on the location, on the areas, and type of house and stuff like that. But I think we're a resource to help them get through the process.
Mhm.
I think that's important to know that we're there to support them through the process and get them through the process the right way,
Mm-hmm.
not cutting corners or whatnot.
Leaving yourself exposed.
Exactly.
Certain things like that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what's your
Well,
thought
I
on that,
think
Shelley?
part of that is, we're here to help keep people out of trouble
Yeah.
Mhm.
because laws change and forms change, and a buyer doesn't always know what they don't know.
No, 100%.
And that's what we're here to help guide them. I always talk to people who are looking at new builds.
Okay.
They go straight into the office, they talk with a sales agent, and that sales
love
agent
where you're
does
going.
not represent them.
No, they do not.
That sales agent represents the builder.
And 9 times
And-
out of 10, those agents aren't licensed.
That's right. So that buyer is going in there. They may sign something and that there's some fine print somewhere down
Yep.
in that document somewhere that they didn't read or don't understand.
100%.
And I think it's so important that we connect with them
Mhm.
and help them understand what they're signing.
And they're not spending any more money.
No.
The builder just has to pay your commission. I personally have worked with a realtor for, on my last house, which we bought 11 years ago. That exact, example that you just said, I just brought her in there regardless because I said, I want to know what your thoughts are on this neighborhood because she's going to provide insight on the neighborhood. She tells me, what the mud taxes are going to be because you know what? Before I went into a new build and they're like, oh yeah, right now it's zoned to this school, but it's going to get shifted over. We don't know that. And you're the asset telling me you don't want to go to this school,
Mhm.
right? So that's, I think, that can't be stressed enough on working with new build clients
Mhm.
because to your point, they don't work for you. And, there's nothing that you lose out on by working with an agent. So Any new developments in the area that really have caught your eye and you think, is just standing head and shoulders above rest? Who's got a favorite? And don't say it's whatever you have a listing in.
I will say Bridgeland, Cypress.
Bridgeland is you want to talk mud tax? Woo! They have those the canals of lakes, Town Lake I saw when I was managing a golf course over there in that area. One of my coworkers bought a home right when they were like first 10 homes in there and sold it like 18 months later for 3 times what he paid for it. It was just insane. But Bridgeland, I think, is another one of those master plan communities. Is it the same developer as Cinco or?
No, it's not.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean that thing. It's going to take some time, but it is massive because it bleeds into Katy too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So
Sort part of it.
yeah. So what do y'all see on that? Is it the south side of I-10 over there, like 99 over, you're seeing a lot of land purchases happening. I mean, are we going to?
Fulshere's growing.
Okay.
It's like one of the fastest cities growing in the country. So
Yeah.
I think it's, Fulsheur's going to be a big thing.
Because that's where Cross Creek is, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I like Cross Creek. It's
I
nice.
do too. That's where.
Okay, there you go. Then I'm sure you're going to say Cross Creek.
Oh, yeah.
So, Shelley, which one? I mean, what are you seeing a lot of, or some of your buyers like really gravitating towards?
Well, Cross Creek is a big draw, but they've got Cross Creek West now.
Okay.
And there is subdivisions all the way down 359 in Fulshear, from downtown Fulshear
Yeah.
on 359. It's massive
359
growing.
used to be a dirt road.
Yeah, it's not anymore.
No, it's not.
No.
Well, thank you guys for everyone for coming in, kind of giving me a little update about the market. I look forward to the next one, and we'll see y'all in here soon.
Thank you
Thank
for having us.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
so
that.
much.
having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you
you're
for your
very
time.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.